All right, let's jump straight into this investigative explainer. Today, we're cracking open a really intense incident report to deconstruct a highly chaotic survival situation that went down deep in the woods. By analyzing the raw transcript of this event, we're going to piece together exactly how a mechanical failure rapidly spiraled into an absolute psychological breakdown. We're talking mysterious machinery, sudden gunfire, and a totally devastating personal betrayal, all happening under extreme duress. It's a fascinating, if a bit terrifying look at human behavior when we're pushed to the absolute limit. So let's get right to the evidence. Picture this. You are dropped right into the middle of absolute high-stakes chaos. The very first piece of data we have from this incident features a frantic, completely desperate quote, "It's always the red button." Someone is trying to operate an unknown piece of machinery while staring down an immediate, terrifying threat. There's no manual, there's absolutely no time to think. It's just a visceral reaction to danger and a completely desperate guess. It really hooks us right into the sheer panic of that exact moment. Section 1. Mechanical crisis, the red button. Okay, let's dive into this. How do we react in those first few frantic seconds of a life or death crisis when a machine is literally our only lifeline? Notice the rapid-fire nature of the commands from the raw transcript. These instructions are just barked out in a state of pure adrenaline. Step 1, turn it on. Step 2, stay right there. Step 3, press the red button. It highlights this universal kind of panicked logic. When we're under extreme pressure, the human brain defaults to the simplest, most culturally ingrained action. In this case, assuming the big red button just has to be the ultimate trigger for whatever machine they're wrestling with. But here's the thing, that one brief mechanical action, it instantly flips the script. Once that button is pressed, the immediate command shifts to get away from her to the cabin. The focus pivots from operating a machine to an uncoordinated, completely frantic retreat toward what they think is safety. They aren't holding their ground anymore. They are on the run, and the structure of their survival plan literally starts to fracture right then and there. Section 2, danger in the woods. So, shifting our focus from that immediate mechanical crisis to the broader environmental threats that are actively trapping these survivors. Looking at this objectively, think about the two terrible tactical options these individuals face after a sudden noise shatters the silence. They can either stay put in an unknown, threatening woodland, or they can move directly toward the sound of sudden gunshots. I mean, do you run from a mystery threat directly into the path of a known deadly weapon? It is the ultimate lose-lose scenario born out of pure desperation. The sheer panic and conflicting logic here is just palpable. One survivor actually questions the other with this incredible line. "You seriously want to go where there were gunshots?" You've got one person operating on the instinct that any sign of human activity, even gunfire, means rescue, and the other is applying basic, rational self-preservation. It just goes to show how extreme stress can entirely fracture a group's consensus. And this brilliantly illustrates the severity of their geographical confusion. They are suffering from profound situational disorientation. The transcript explicitly notes they've been walking in circles for an entire hour. They literally don't even know where the camp is anymore. This rising desperation creates a pressure cooker environment where every single passing minute just strips away their rationality and their hope. Section 3, the psychology of betrayal. Now we hit a massive dramatic pivot in the transcript. The external threats, the woods, the machinery, the gunfire, they are suddenly eclipsed by this intense psychological warfare happening between the survivors themselves. The verbal escalation goes completely off the charts, with lines like, "Stop acting like a B-word and let's go." Civility has totally evaporated. Situational panic has now weaponized into direct aggression. One survivor basically decides that to get the other to move, they have to drop all empathy and just resort to harsh verbal dominance. Watch how the speaker systematically dismantles the other survivor's emotional anger. To force compliance, one survivor weaponizes the absolute truth about a third party named Brett. The speaker lays out the brutal facts. Brett is not out here looking for her. He is safely back at the university, and worst of all, he is in a freshman's room at this very moment. It is a highly calculated deployment of infidelity as a psychological stressor. And then they drive the knife in even deeper. Listen to this cold, calculated question. Do you think he would dirty his shoes for you? Wow. The strategy is crystal clear. Destroy the other person's delusions of a romantic rescue. By totally shattering the illusion that Brett cares, the speaker is forcing the paralyzed survivor to face the grim reality of their situation. It's a brutal tearing down of hope just to build up a raw survival instinct. Section 4, the survival ultimatum. That whole interpersonal breakdown was really just the prelude to the ultimate choice. Look at this harsh binary ultimatum presented in the source audio. The speaker frames the situation with absolute finality. Option A, let someone who actually loves you save you right now. Option B, stay behind, go cry for Brett, and die alone in the woods. It is the ultimate emotional power play, forcing the paralyzed survivor into a corner where inaction literally means certain doom.
And right on the heels of that brutal emotional teardown, notice the stark juxtaposition of this next statement. The speaker suddenly snaps right back to a cold, logical survival plan. There is a camp a few kilometers away. Let's find it and we'll get home. I mean, it's practically a masterclass in psychological manipulation. Break them down emotionally, and then immediately offer a clear, actionable path to physical safety.
Which brings us to the end of our incident report and leaves us with one incredibly gripping question, derived directly from the transcript's climax. Will she choose survival and follow the harsh truth? Or will she stay behind in the woods, crying for a lie? This whole explainer really shows us that in the wilderness, the greatest threat isn't always what's hiding in the trees. Sometimes it's the psychological breaking point of the person standing right next to you. Think about what you would choose. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you next time.